Oh, hello there. Um, it's Transforming Tuesday. And yeah, I think I have an interesting story for you. But before we get to that, since it's Transforming Tuesday, let's talk about transforming. There's so many things we go through in our life, and we don't always have the understanding of the whys. You know, if you have a prophecy over you that seems to, you know, go forward, and it's of course going to go forward because it's from God, and it's been proven multiple times that that did is exactly what God said. I mean, it's not always nice. Paul didn't get told, got told when he was young he could do this, and when he was old he would be told what to do. Now, that doesn't sound like a nice prophecy, but it was true. It was a warning to him to know that, life was going to change, but that God would still be with him. And that's what it's really about, isn't it? God being with you. So here's something to think of. God is in the moment before you. Not a big thing, really. Or is it? That means he's shaping it, he's creating it, he's moving it, doing all the things that are necessary for that moment to be perfect for what you require to do. Even though sometimes those moments are painful, sometimes there's suffering, sometimes there's joy, you know, he's still in that moment. It may allow us to do exactly what our free will stated we will do, but he'll still be there. There's something to think on. If you wish to get a hold of me, you can do that through eric@starthealing.me. And you send me a link to that address. You send me a link. You send me an email, and I'll send you a link. Okay, I'll get it in the right directional. And we'll talk. We'll see what happens. That one's without charge. You know, like, share, do all those fun things. As we get close enough, like I said, we'll do a story where you get to choose what happens in the story. It's always fun, but I don't mind. It's easy enough for me to do. It's a question of, can you keep track? Guess we'll find out. Well, it's Transforming Tuesday, and it's time to transform, right? I mean, that's what God is doing for us. He's transforming us from one thing to another. You know, in some cases, some people spend time, you know, being one thing and then find out that another thing fits better. But that thing that they did is not without any merit. It's just different. That's a real transforming Tuesday. Yeah, for the story, I believe. Um, I'm not gonna give this guy a name because he doesn't really require one. Um, but if you wanted him to have one, I don't know, call him Pat. I did. That's not his name for sure, but you can call him that if you want. Pat was driving his truck. His wife had just passed. That was terrible. Daughter passed with him, and that was worse. Didn't understand how come, you know, the thing had happened the way it was. He was really talking with God, and he wasn't a man to be alone. He didn't wish to be alone, and wasn't sure what was going to happen. But this was what he had, the truck, not much else. Um, there had been an apartment, but he had folded that in once his daughter and his wife were gone. That didn't seem any use of having that. It'd been a few months since this happened. He's driving along, and he knew this was also coming, that some of his contracts were going to go down. He owned the truck. Then it would be a different story, but he doesn't. He just has to drop it off and walk away. He doesn't have much. He didn't keep much. A few things sitting in a storage unit paid for the next 5 years, just because. And the call comes, and there's a driver that's going to pick it up at a certain address, and that's it. And everything's been crumbling for a while. People would say that he must have done something wrong, and he would say, I don't know what I did. Because if I did know, maybe I'd undo it, but not likely, because I don't know what it is. So he gets to the truck stop where they want him to switch drivers, and the driver has the proper ID and the extra key and proves himself, and off he goes. He goes, well, he goes, I got a few bucks in my pocket. I'm gonna go get myself a burger. He walks in, and there's this lady, and she's chief cook and bottle washer. Watch, going around, getting everybody happy for the most part. Then there's this one guy that gets like really totally rude, and you know, starts saying some very unnasty, unnice things, and then tries to take a swing at her, and that's when Pat decides that's about that. He gets up and grabs a hold of this guy, and he goes, "I'll pay for your meal, but you get out of here." Oops, I used a swear word. Oh well, God. I'm a little rough around the edges at the moment. Tossed the guy out, and I said, "You'll regret that." Oh, I always know that I will. You don't know who I am. Oh, one of those. Pat said, coffee, two sugar, three milk, and some sort of breakfast. She chuckled and she goes, "Ah, you just threw out the worst person in the universe to throw out. That's all right. I won't be around here long, although I don't know where I'm going." What do you mean? I see a truck taking off. That was my job. Apparently, they didn't need me anymore. That's one of their cousins or sons or something. And off I went. Um, I've had a rough few months. Oh, well, it's cooling down in here, and about 10 minutes later, it was empty except for them two. She comes over and she goes, mind if it's it? Not at all. He goes, I'll stick around so that they don't come back and wreck your place. Oh, they wouldn't do that. They might do a lot of things, but they wouldn't do that. There's reasons. Oh, okay. So what happened? As well, about 3 or 4 months ago, Pat goes, everything went canned up. My wife and daughter were driving somewhere and somebody lost control, and that was the end of that. Wow, that's terrible. It is. And then what happened with the job? Well, like I said, one of his sons or cousins needed work more than I did, apparently. They found an excuse, and here I am. What are you going to do? I don't know. I have a few bucks in my pocket, and I have a bag that's have a few things that I cared for and wished to keep sitting in a small little container. Paid for a few years, about three, I think, maybe at least two. So I figure out what I'm doing. She chuckles. She goes, any experience in the kitchen? Oh yeah. Uh, before I got this job, that's where my wife met me. I worked at a restaurant. I just wanted to try something different. Didn't like it really. Like cooking, but I like to cook my stuff, not somebody else's. And that was an issue where I was because they want me to cook according to the recipes. And the recipes were depressing. Oh, well, if you wish, there's a room upstairs. I don't stay here at night. I go home to my own place, but There's a room upstairs, and I do need some security because every once in a while, some of those nice people, like the one you just threw out, come and throw rocks through my windows just to make my life interesting. Oh, huh. Well, I could make their life interesting, I suppose. She said, I'd rather have pictures and, deal with it legally. And he goes, oh, I would plan to do that. He said, I can do that type of stuff too, but I've been everything. Well, not everything. Close. Oh, you've had a life. I have. Well, lunch rush will be here in about 30, 40 minutes. So you want to take the kitchen and I'll take the front. That's fine. Menus there. I don't care what you cook. You just tell me what it is so I can tell my customers. Oh, okay. Well, you got to cook then. Yeah. He went back and he looked and he said, so, want to do like a brunch? Yeah, it's Saturday. They're going to be looking for brunchies. Okay, I can do that. So, how about French toast with walnut cream on top? Yeah, you got all the ingredients. I checked. Oof. Well, that's a little high end for here, but I bet you they'll go for it. And we'll uh, we'll do oh, you'll see. It'll be good. I'll let you taste. I'll have one whipped up here in about 10, 15 minutes. He went back and she heard swish, 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 the eggs cracking and all this stuff. And the smell coming out of there. And oh my goodness, what is he doing? Two slices of French toast, three pieces of bacon, and an egg, sunny side up, of course. And a piece of French toast beside it with this walnut cream and these frozen little nodules of maple syrup. How do you do that? I'll have to figure that one out. Because I didn't have any of those frozen, but he must have figured out a way of doing it. In a quick hurry, by the way. When she had it, she go, ooh, that's good. What about the folks that don't want a brunchy? Well, I can probably whip something else up. And he goes in, he goes, yeah, okay, Pioneer Burger it is. What's a Pioneer Burger? You'll find out in a few minutes. Oh my, I'm going to get weighted if I keep packing out your food. But you know what? That's how this diner's run for a long time. They know they come in, they're gonna find something I just decided to cook. So now you just decide to cook. So he made nice big wedgies and put sour cream and sweet chili on the side. And he made this burger called the Pioneer Burger, which had bacon and cheese inside, and caramelized some onions dead quick. I don't know how he did that, she said to herself. Pat just chuckled. Oh, you'd be amazed what I can do. We put it out and she nibbled and she goes, oh, she goes, that's later. She said, this now, that later, and we'll figure out the prices. Well, I can give you prices because I know what I put into it and roughly what you need to get out of it. Oh my, you're good at that? Oh yeah. Okay. Well, you tell me. Well, I would say breakfast is 10. Is that going to go here? Oh yeah, that'll they'll be happy about that. Yeah, you got about 6 or 7 in it. You get a walk away at 3. Not bad. The burger, well, 15 because you're getting high end here. I did a really nice job with this. Not everybody's going to go for it. Oh, by the way, I also caramelized tomatoes and more bacon. Of course, can't have enough bacon made. Caramelized bacon and tomato ketchup, and I did a quick pickle of onions. That should be good. Oh yeah, that burger is good. Oh my, I can't. No, but that's later. I don't mind if it's cold. Oh well, it can be warmed up. I'm pretty sure. And he said, for now, I'll just set it over here, and you can figure out when you want it, and I'll warm it up for you. Okay. At least I got to see. That's all right. Be amazed. So in 30 minutes, he whipped up like five different items. Pierogies. And I didn't know he could make pierogies that quickly. Oh, they're not hard. Just, a bit of battered dough, knead, roll, stuff. Potatoes boiling already, so they'll be up in a minute. You're incredibly quick, and the food's amazing. Pierogies, caramelized onions again, bacon, of course. That sausage that I've been trying to figure out what to do with because really likes it for breakfast, but boy, is that good in there. Okay, so lunch rush goes through, and hey, you got a new cook? Yeah, just kind of dropped out of the sky. Hey, well, ma'am, just make sure he's a real good guy. He seems to be. He's had a bit of a rough go, so he's gonna stay upstairs and cook for me for a while. He's not staying, but he's gonna stay for a while. The one woman looks at him and goes, one woman looks at her and goes, winks and goes, chugga chugga, yeah, yeah, staying for a while. She goes, hey, I'm going home at night. He's going up there and he's going to be security. Oh, those boys that like to break your windows aren't going to like him. Oh, he's putting up cameras where they can't see them. Uh, they'll be looking for them, but they won't find them. Well, that's what he said. I believe him. He's going into town to get the stuff this afternoon after we get through the lunch rush. So his food, yeah, he created it all. Can I have the pierogi recipe? Maybe. He made them that quick, you said? Yeah, I'd like to have a pierogi recipe like that. Pokes his head out and goes, yeah, I can do that. I can give you that. He said, I'm going to put a cookbook together. How about that? Oh, all right. And I'll buy your book when it comes out. He goes, all right. I don't know why I said that because I have no clue on how to do one. And she peeks in and goes, don't worry, I do. And I've wanted to do one, but I haven't had anybody to inspire me like this. Wolf. What do you call that, by the way, that just went by? Oh, uh, that's pig in a blanket and eggs in a haystack. Ooh, that looks good. Oh yeah, I've sold six of those so far. Going by you, right? Notice you serving the tables too while you were yapping. Yeah, just pouring coffee and stuff, no problems. Wow. So haystack eggs and with a pig in a blanket, woof, and you made it. Yes, of course you did. Well, wow. Okay. By the end of lunch rush, everybody's happy, smiling, leaving. And a big old back caddy pulls up, newest model. Aha, they're back. That's all right. We'll have a conversation outside. Oh, that's his dad. He's going to come and say that we shouldn't throw him out and all that stuff. He was being rude. Tried to take a swing at you as a witness that can't be bought off. Well, that's nice. Haven't had one of those for a while. So that's all right. He said, I'll go out and talk to the man. Don't need to talk in here. Said, although I should invite him in and, let him sit and have some good food. Yeah, let him come in. So he came in and he kind of stormy. You threw my son out, I did. He was being belligerent and he took a swing at a lady. Not in my house. Well, it ain't your house. Well, I'm cooking here right now. Where'd you come from? Oh, here, there, and everywhere. I'm just hanging out for a while. Why don't you sit down in that corner and I'll make you something yummy? It's on me, and we'll have a talk. Looked at the guy and, "Uh, all right, food sounds good." He sits down. I goes, "What do you like?" "Well, what do you have?" And he goes through his orders and he said, "Oh, you do that steak, yeah, with mushrooms and truffle butter." This is becoming a high-end joint. No, I just found some truffles and some butter and I made it. But yeah, there you are. And garlic mashed or garlic onion mash. Ooh, caramelized onions? Yep. Garlic onion mash. Put that on the plate and he goes, what vegetable you like? I got like beans. Of course, those are French with bacon and oh yeah, just throw those on there. That'll be good. So he takes it out there and steak knife and fork and sits down and says, you know, I do understand that you probably have a lot of money and you realize that your boys are a little privileged. They can't be swinging at ladies. That's not allowed. Be belligerent, yeah, put up with it. They want to think they're king of the universe, that's fine. But taking a swing? No, they're gonna get out by their pants. As long as I'm here, and I might be here a while. He looked and he chuckled. He goes, with this food, I think so. He goes, I'll have a talk with my boy. He could get a bit much. I said, yeah. And I said, maybe, tone him down a little. Uh, and he said, well, I need somebody to kind of put a hand on him a bit. He said, I understand that, we all get that way. I said, well, I said, I could use somebody for peeling potatoes. And he said, you would? I said, I would. He said, he's going to be a handful. Of course he is. He's a privileged son. He thinks everything comes for nothing. Well, he goes, you see that caddy out there? I'm selling it tomorrow. He said, because my company went up duck. I said, oh dear. Boy's about to get a reality check. Boy and girl. He goes, you wouldn't want to take on two, would you? What's her skill? Well, she's a writer of sorts, mostly mushy romance, but she does write. She does a decent job of it. And the lady that had invited him in said, "Yeah, I know her. She's a bit of a work, but she is a good writer. I like her stuff. Maybe we can help her out and help the family out." What happened, Doug? And he goes, "Don't call me Doug. My name ain't Doug." He says, that came from childhood, didn't it? Yep. Well, I made a couple of interesting maneuvers with my car dealership, and the Ford didn't like it. I was selling more of their second hand than the new, so they pulled the dealership. Ow, that's gonna sting. Oh yes, can get it back in 2 years, but probably won't. I'm just gonna sell cars and try to be a decent man, which I've always tried. I will admit that you sold me your my car out there, and it does fine. Oh, cool. He goes, right. I need a car. I mean, I'm out in the middle here, and I do need to get there. And I can borrow hers once in a while, but it'd be nice to have one. What's your price range? Oh, let me check things here. He goes back in, he comes back out. He goes, I can do about 1,500. And I need something that's going to be, I know it's a beater, but it's got to run. Ooh, I might have just what you like. Do you like trucks? Oh, I love trucks. I just got noofed out of a truck. Oh, what does that mean? Oh, well, somebody needed their son or their cousin to drive the truck, so I'm no longer driving. Oh, you drove truck, yes. Okay. Um, do you have that license for driving trucks that are, the rig and you put all the cars on it? Yep. And he looks over at her, goes, Myrtle, and she goes, my name's not Myrtle. Okay, there's something going on here. And he goes, I'm not going to get into it. Yeah, can I borrow him every other Thursday and we'll go get some cars from the auction and bring them down and see if we can revive this thing? Sure, I can work one day without him as long as he makes up all the food and I can just kind of stuff it together. Oh, we'll make sure of that, ma'am. And yes, I can, and I will help you out. Send both of those over. I want to do a cookbook, so we'll get her doing the cookbook with uh, Myrtle. I'm not Myrtle, I know, but staying with the joke. Yes, sir. He goes, well, he can start tomorrow morning. I'll let him know that we're going to be a little bit more broke than usual for a while. Yeah. So was the dealership theirs? Oh, yes, of course. But I owned a gas station a couple of doors over. It's got a big yard. And now it's, he said, I don't know what I'm going to call it, but it'll be some sort of selling cars. This is what I do. And he goes, well, he said, the food was amazing. I'll send you my son, send you my daughter. Um, I mean, I got all summer to figure this out. He's not going to be happy. Oh, don't worry, I'll get him happy in the end. He'll learn a skill and a talent, and he'll learn that money does come from somewhere. And he goes, okay. He'll be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. I said, that's good. Yes. We'll need him for lunch. Lots of potatoes to peel and tomatoes to cut, and I'll teach him how. And send your lovely daughter over, and we'll start working. Tell her to bring a computer. I imagine she has one. Oh, she does. And tell her to bring one, and we'll start figuring out what we're going to do with the cookbook. Okay. And he goes, well, this is a better day than I thought. He goes, well, he said, I'm off to get rid of the caddy. He said, I don't need that. He said, that was just because I was a Ford dealer and I was snarky. It's probably part of my problem right there. Oh, yeah. Should have been an Escalade or something. Fordish. Yes, yep. But I like the caddy. He said, but I'll give her up for a while. So he left, got in the caddy, off he went. She said, I'll drive you into town later and you pick up your truck. Oh, that sounds good. You know how to work on things? Yeah. Well, mine's getting a little. Oh, don't worry. Well, we'll give it a go. I'm not a A1 mechanic or anything, but I can usually fix most things. Well, it squeaks when it stops. Oh, that's called brakes. We can fix that. Oh, good. We'll pick those up when we're in. All right. Well, you know, I think I just started this series here, but you see what transformation happened, right? It went from sorrow to somewhat joy. It's still going to have some moments. We're going to walk you through them. Is it a real story? Well, based on one. Can we say it that way? We'll leave it there. So eh, you need a blessing. I think a good one too. How about creativity? Blessings of creativity flowing from God, invention. All things can be revealed according to God. All things that are hidden will be shown according to God. We're looking for that is around Mark 10:27 kg, if you wonder what version I'm using, King James. And, you know, I think the other part of that blessing just has to be wisdom, the full understanding of who you are and what you're meant to do. How about that? Wrapped in peace and joy, of course, and whatever that brush wishes to paint, it's in God's hand, according to His will, which so it is, and according to yours, it can be. So, I just come before you, Father, Spirit, Son, and the first thing we want to do is just say, for anyone that hasn't been introduced to Jesus, well, let's do that. It's a simple process. You just go, I'm a sinner, and I require to be saved. I can't do it on my own. I prove that. I require some help, and I'm asking the Lord Jesus to be that help. Come dwell with me, and I also ask the Holy Spirit. to fill me. After that, you just tell someone you'll wish to, honest. It'll be transformational. So if it's 100th time, push back that darkness so that all of this can happen. If it's 100th time, then ask him to take you deeper. Yeah. Never know what you're going to find in the scripture. It's amazing. God's quite astounding. You'll find out. So we just thank you, God, that you're doing all of these things and you're putting these things in place and you're going to move every single person that's hearing this voice a little closer to you today. And we thank you for doing so. We thank you for the story that will echo forward for a long time. And next Tuesday, we'll give it another part of it. Well, we leave it there. And we ask you to give us grace and mercy and courage and strength as we go. And we say thankful, grateful, gratitude, thankful, grateful, gratitude, thankful, grateful, gratitude. Standing in awe and honor, respect, allowing all glory to flow to Father, Spirit, Son. This is, and so this is. So you'll be blessed when you rest, rest well. When you wake, wake well, and know that your path is well lit by God. May you find the answers that God is giving you in the way that makes your life better. Blessings.